I now come to how do we finance these HEST operations. For that, we have what we call the lending instrument and non-lending instrument. By lending instrument, we mean loans. Generally, these loans are made to countries, but sometimes they can be made to other entities. We have grants. Grants, again, come in different shapes and forms. For example, we have technical grants. We have middle-income country grants for middle-income countries, and so on. Then we have a general budget support and sector budget support that's more specific. This is our major lending instrument. Non-lending, the most important one perhaps is the policy dialogue that we have with African countries. And this dialogue is an integral part of all missions that we undertake in countries, whether we are preparing a strategy to support a country or whether we are doing a sector mission, project identification, preparation, or appraisal mission. We always engage in dialogue with countries so that we have a common understanding of what they are trying to do through HEST and how we can best help. The second loan lending activity, which is very important to us, is providing technical assistance. Usually, these take the form of some grants. These grants can come from trust funds that we have with a number of countries, or it can be our own administrative budget. And with this fund, we usually recruit very good consultants with a proven track record in that particular area to help. A third activity that we do for non-lending to support HEST is economic and sector work and all kind of analytical works that help to build the knowledge base that we need for our own use and for the use of government. For example, currently we are conducting what we call a STI mapping in Africa, where we are doing country assessment to see what is the current status of STI, what are the needs, how can donors help, and what can ADB do. And in that regard, we have planned to have a big African forum on science and technology in November. So please mark your calendar. You are invited. It's going to be a very important event for us, and we are doing it with other partners, including ADEA here, the African Union, and possibly UNESCO. We are also conducting a number of studies on policy and practices in technical and vocational education and training in Africa. So, if I may summarize, the way we go about investing, supporting HEST, science and technology, is number one, through a strategy that we have that's called HEST strategy. And number two, we mobilize the different instruments and tools that we have, and these include lending and non-lending instruments to prepare operations, to provide technical assistance, and to engage in policy dialogue. Currently, as you all know, the situation on the continent is changing at an even faster speed. There are a number of new needs that have become urgent. For example, there's the need to address the problem of youth unemployment. There is the issue of fostering not just economic growth, but inclusive growth. There is a need to ensure better accountability, make sure that the young and citizens in general have more of a voice in governance issue and so on. And so we are engaging in different activities to help with these emerging needs. And this emerging need help to shape the way forward as we see it. We're going to align our science, technology, and innovation strategy with a larger human development strategy that focuses precisely on these new and urgent issues like youth, employment, and so on. We are building knowledge on science and technology related needs. I mentioned briefly this country assessment that we are conducting now through economic and sector work and other analytical works. We will keep engaging in policy dialogue with RMCs to help develop sound policies and strategies. We are taking action to provide a better framework for intersector linkage, coordination, and joint operation. And this coordination is not only within ADB, but also with other partners and funding institutions. And we are helping to mobilize resources within and outside the bank as we go forward. We will keep doing that. We will more and more support the development of national innovation action plans. And as I said, we are engaged in policy dialogue, and part of this policy dialogue helps to develop action plans with the country in the driver's seat, but with ADB as being by the side of the country to come up with these action plans. We will strengthen the linkages between science and technology and industry, putting an emphasis on insertion in active life and employment. We will promote the role of women and other disadvantaged groups in science and technology related training and research activities. We will cultivate technology development through public and private partnerships, PPPs, and we will keep financing STI infrastructure. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I wanted to say. Again, it's only to give a glimpse at what ADB is doing. What we're doing is much, much more than what I just said. Thank you very much.